we don't have the best facilities around. We don't have ramps everywhere for people who are differently abled. And I've never realized it harder than I did while playing that character. I mean, this few sequences I had to do, like falling off my wheelchair or getting up. 4-5 takes in, I was dead. I was so tired. I was like, I can't believe people do this on a regular. Like, how this. And that time, that's when I realized कि यार बाकी सब तो is fine. Yeah. Like, I'm fine. Like, I thought I have problems in my life. Let me just tell you, like, there are people who are fighting every day, yaar. आ गिरा आसमां दिल गवाह है, साथ तू ना सही दिल जवां है, कागज के पन्नों पे मैं लिख दूं तेरा नाम, लकीरों में ही रहता है अनजान, मैं तेरा तू मेरी, धीरे धीरे से खो गए, धीरे से खो गए, कहीं तू मेरी, धीरे धीरे से खो गए, धीरे से खो गए हम. Hi, my name is Taaruk Raina and you're watching Now Streaming with Shlok Chaturvedi.
Hello friends and welcome to Now Streaming. Today we have with us the man who can do it all. An actor, a YouTuber, TV presenter, singer, song composer and someone who I'm lucky enough to call a friend. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
And finally we're making this happen.
Yes.
And I'm very glad we are.
Yes.
So it's been a big year for you. Huh? I mean, when you talk about Mismatched, Kho Gaye, Narazgi, how does it feel to see all of this come to fruition?
I mean, I'm very, like, it's more of a sense of relief that, like, I mean, I'm almost like I've gained faith in the fact that okay, maybe I can do this, maybe right. I can have a career here. But I mean, I'm very happy that like Kho Gaye worked out very well, Mismatched season 2 worked out very well, and I think I'm just really kind of grateful and thankful and relieved, and I don't want to pay attention to how it happened. Like I'm just like, okay, now let me do what I want to do. Right. And with that instilled sort of confidence or lack of, but yeah, it's been good. It's been a good, like, last year was good. Yeah.
So Mismatched seemed to have, like, पूरा talent choose लिया आपका. Acting भी बढ़िया करा ली, गाना भी मस्त आ गया आपका Kho Gaye. Very famous, lot of people are listening to it. In fact, when I mentioned that you're coming, and I was like, oh yeah, he sang Kho Gaye, right? Can I please meet him?
Yeah, so, please, we'll meet everyone.
Yeah, people do want to meet you. So, how much do you think you've grown as as an artist, not just an actor, but like an actor, an artist from your first project to now?
I mean, I'd say that, like, of course, immensely, because, when I first came to Mumbai, like, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I still don't know what I'm doing technically in my life, but, like, I mean, I had no idea what I had to do, how I had to do it, even the processes, even the logistics of things, I had no idea of how to do anything. So now, of course, like, on the job you learn. And you gain a sense of maturity of, how things have to be and how things have to be done properly. Right. And I think I've really understood the value of, people around you and what you can give to people and what people can give you. I think it's everything is a collaborative effort. Nothing is done by, like, a person. Right. And you slowly and steadily learn how to maneuver your ways and express yourself the right way. Right. And I think I don't think I'm there yet, but, like, I feel like I'm on a path at least. Like, at least I know that, okay, this is how I want to do things. Right. And whatever I don't know, I learn, or I ask my friends who already know how to do it, and then they teach me how to do it. So,
as long as you figure out your way, right?
Yeah, somehow or the other, yeah.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about Mismatched now, because, I mean, I've not had too many interactions with you, but at least the kind of impression that I had of you, because I met a lot of people there, a lot of people that were actors or singers, different things they were doing. So I never saw you as that, dismissive, rude kind of a person, like like Anmol in Mismatched.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I remember at that party, I was standing alone awkwardly because I didn't know too many people, and you came and you had a conversation with me.
Yeah.
So I kept that in my head, like, okay, this guy is very inclusive kind of a person, and you're very starkly different in Anmol. So how did you approach that? Where's the relatability?
I mean, to be honest, I don't relate to Anmol as much as I should as an actor, or maybe I don't know what the process of it is. Like, I don't know how that happens. But yeah, like, I mean, the way the character was written, it was fairly, I was like, let me max out this guy's anger. Let me max it out. Like, let me like, every time he says something, let people just go, whoa. So I just tried that, and it sort of worked. So I kept that. Maybe the only place I can relate to, I've only been that angry, while maybe like, I don't know, maybe my innate frustrations of life are sometimes coming out when I'm playing Anmol. Season 1 was like therapy for me, like, to be honest, like, because I got to vent so much that, I used to feel a lot lighter after every shot. I used to be like, wow, that felt good. Like, why is this happening to me? But but then I also kind of got really like, it's like when we're shooting, and if it, like, for Mismatched, it's like I have a 12-hour face flex because I'm just angry. Season 2, I was a little relieved because I'm like, oh my god, he gets to smile. So yeah, that was like a bit of like a lighter note, and I liked that, and I liked the whole transition that happened. And
yeah.
So yeah, it's. I mean, I don't think I'd relate to it as much as I like it.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Maza aa raha tha.
Maza aa raha tha.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll tell them to keep, to shoot somewhere here so that you have to drive here every time. You can build up that anger and you can method it, because
oh yeah, man.
the chaos you had coming here today was.
Oh yeah, it was a journey. I discovered things about myself.
So apart from that, that whole angry part of it, how difficult was it to play a differently abled person?
So, you know what, I think we all take for granted what we just have, in life, and we worry about things like, oh my god, am I going to make this much money, and am I going to buy this, and am I going to do this, and I'm going to go for this holiday, and my friends should think I'm cool. When I was playing that character, in the few scenes that I actually had to, bodily show that, Anmol is a differently abled person, you can't imagine how hard it is. Like, one can't even think how hard that life is, and how strong the people who actually have to deal with it in real life are.
Right.
And how much like apathy there is for people like that. We don't have the best facilities around. We don't have ramps everywhere. We don't have special situations and special facilities for people who are differently abled. And I've never realized it harder than I did while playing that character. I mean, this few sequences I had to do, like falling off my wheelchair or getting up, 4-5 takes in, I was dead. I was so tired. And I was like, I can't believe people do this on a regular. Like, how this, and that time, that's when I realized ki yaar, baki sab to is fine. Yeah. Like, I'm fine. Like, I thought I have problems in my life. Let me just tell you, like, there are people who are fighting every day, yaar. And it's like, you suddenly think about your problems and they're so petty. You're running after materialistic, shallow things. We don't realize that, people have it much harder, especially differently abled people. And that's what makes them so much stronger mentally.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were trying to show in Anmol as well, that, he's not somebody who's looking for pity, or he's not looking for help, because, he's that guy that can do it himself. He doesn't need you.
Right.
Don't look at me with this look.
Yeah.
That is what it was about.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like just immense respect, and like for people who
Right.
deal with that every day, it's insane. Like it's so difficult. Like I can't even.
No, you definitely played it very aptly. You remember I texted you also right
Yeah,
after I finished
yeah, I
watching.
remember.
That I really liked. And you know what I especially liked were
No, and I was so scared. I was so scared of getting it wrong, because it's such a sensitive thing. Like I don't want to get it wrong. In fact, like I think I didn't prep as much for the character as I did for just that.
right.
Like I was like, this is something that is too,
Yeah.
important.
You know what I really liked was like obviously apart from the thing that I already mentioned, that you know the kind of person I see you as, the kind of character I saw on Mole, the fact that very stark personalities. Apart from that, it was that there was this one scene where you get off the wheelchair and there's that machine that helps you walk.
Yeah.
And you try to use that. So, and like now you were explaining, you know, how to you get out of that.
Yeah.
At that moment in time, how, like, what did it make you feel? In terms
I
of,
mean, as a character, I certainly like felt like super hopeful. Like that was a point that you see something like that in that situation, and that's the answer to all your life's problems instantly,
right.
and then it doesn't work. So it's like a really like it's a sad moment there.
Yeah.
But for a second, you just imagine, like as Anmol would have imagined, like how his life would have been if he was so-called normal. And yeah, you just see the weight of that issue at that moment, and you see how like almost another side of that person is going to come out,
Right.
which is being stopped by everything he's dealing with.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like that scene was very it was very hard hitting
Yeah.
kind of thing, and super uncomfortable to wear, though that thing was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But then again, that's what I'm saying now. Like that discomfort is nothing compared to what.
Yeah, because
like-
you know that after the shot is over, you can walk back.
Exactly. Like who am I to even complain about anything? Yeah.
Right. Fair enough. But that's still so starkly different from your character, right?
Yeah.
Because actually, as a person, you're like, I can't complain about this, but your
Yeah.
character in his head is just complaining about this, and there is that huge self-loathing
Yeah.
thing that what you did to yourself.
Yeah.
And so, is there any particular technique that one uses to show that character arc that you showed, where you're going from that very angry person and transitioning into someone who's finally accepting that most of your anger is directed towards yourself, and that therapy is actually working for you?
I mean, I don't think there's a process in terms of an actor to show an arc, because an arc is mostly written. So all credit to the writers.
Fair.
And of how they made that character transition. But the only thing I did was because when you shoot, you don't shoot laterally, right? Like you don't shoot in a linear way.
Yeah.
So you shoot like first episode, fourth scene, last episode, second scene in the same day.
Oh, right.
So all you have to keep track of is where you are
Yeah.
at moments, and that's the only thing I tried to do. And of course, if I forgot it, our director Akash Khurana was always there to remind me. So it's not like
अब तुम गुस्सा नहीं हो, अब तुम खुश हो.
यहाँ पे this is you were at this level right now. You're going to go here, you're going to go there. So that's
Right. So, but was it like, does it get a bit difficult to work with such a huge cast?
This cast is like my family.
Oh.
Like this cast is the best. It doesn't feel like. I feel like I've known these people all my life. Like I love going to shoot Mismatched. Like I love it.
Right.
Like I don't think I've had a better time, made better friends ever than this. Like it's not like one of those things where you go work and then you forget about each other. Like these are my friends. Like proper people who I call friends. Like
Right.
So yeah, it's not.
I mean, it's such a fun thing to think of, right? You're just going to hang out with your friends.
And let me tell you, this does not happen.
Yeah,
Like it's not like this on everything you do.
of course.
It's really not. This is really special. to all of us actually. I hope. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it just seems like there's a great sense of harmony between all of you guys, and
Yeah.
that probably comes from offset relationships that you guys have with each other.
No, I mean, yeah, and you know, you'd think that there's a bunch of young actors together, you know, there'd be insecurities, there'd be things like that. There's nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I see you guys really promoting each other, hyping each other up, even on your
Yeah.
social media pages.
Like, I am their biggest fan.
Right,
Like,
right. Actually, I had interviewed one of your co-stars also for Mismatched, Devyani.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
She's brilliant. She's done such a fab job as Namrata. She's
Right.
she's
Yeah.
superb.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who would you say is the most fun person on set? You know, like your go-to person. I'm sure you like everyone. But
Akarsh Khurana.
okay.
Yeah, 100%. You can never tell what's coming.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
And any funny anecdote that you'd like to share?
There's so many, man. There's so many. I mean,
Some on-set something that happened and
every day so many things happen, yeah, on that set. It's the funny. Once Prajakta got locked in a room and she couldn't come to shoot because she was just locked in a room.
What? How does that happen? Where in a hotel room?
and
or
like true friends, all of us before helping laughed.
something? Obviously.
Yeah, in the hotel room, it was damn funny. But there's so many things, man. Like this. I remember once I got a massive heat stroke also because we shoot in Rajasthan and all. Like it's hot. And yeah, like you know, the doctor came and he was just like, "Are you mad? How can you shoot?" And I had no idea that I was actually like, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, it was so many. There's so many things like just
Yeah.
keep happening on that set because there's so many people and there's so many funny people.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's that whole those young people like fully energized and
Yeah.
ready to have fun on set and
Yeah.
sure it must be a fun experience.
Yeah.
So Kho Gaye,
Yeah.
let's get to that. Was it always planned or did it just somehow happen throughout the process?
No, it wasn't always planned to be in Mismatched. It wasn't the plan. Like
Okay.
I didn't essentially make it for the show. I had it written down. I had played and I really wanted it. I really wanted it to be in the show.
Okay.
So I remember it was like 5 in the morning and we were hanging out in somebody's room and there was a guitar there and I think I was like, I told Akash, I was like, listen, I'm going to play you something. You listen to it. Yeah. And this was season 1.
Right.
And I played him the song. And he was like, yeah, okay, nice. Okay. And then we all went to sleep. I think months later he called me. He's like, I want that song. I was like,
I'm sure.
I was like, I'm on it. I called, I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I want to do it this way. I want to do this. I want to do this live. I want to do this.
Right.
And like, I just like gave it everything I got.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course it was, and the fact that it was, you know, portrayed the way it was in the show, I think that really helped. And,
Yeah.
you know, it was so yeah, it just worked out. Things fell into place for that song. And that, you know, it very rarely happens that everything kind of works its way
Yeah.
to, you know, make something do well.
I mean, Mismatched is seeming like a very special experience. Like you said, you know, very rarely happens that you get along so well. Very rarely happens that you get to have your song as a part of your show.
Definitely, yeah.
So, Taaruk, were you a musician first or an actor first?
I was a musician first.
Acha.
Yeah, when I had no idea I wanted to act.
Okay.
Actually, when I was a musician, I didn't even have an idea that I wanted to be a musician. I was just a musician because I loved it. So yeah, I was a musician.
So when did this whole acting part come about?
The acting part came about, I think 8 or 9 years ago when I came to Bombay. And I thought, let me give this a go. And there was a certain situation where I was getting a chance to audition for something big, and I was like, okay, let me try it. If I don't do this right now, when will I do it? Types. And then I kind of got really deep into it, and I started loving it.
Right.
So that's how it kind of worked out.
Right.
And then I always wanted to do music, but I just never knew how to go about it, right? Like I didn't know the dynamics or the logistics of it, ki kaise karna hai.
Yeah.
But then through the years I learnt that, and then till then I kept writing songs and making songs and all of that, and I had help from my friends and who, you know, encouraged me and, you know, made me meet people, took me to the studios, like all of that happened. So, and then I learned ek ek karke. धीरे-धीरे. So yeah.
So apart from being like obviously a famous actor now, you're also an independent artist in India.
Yes,
So what do you
yes.
think the future of indie music is?
It's massive, bro. It's so good. Yeah, it's going to be great because it's just exploded. Like the scene is, people have suddenly realized that they can do things themselves.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they always did. Like, and it's not new to like us. Like the indie pop scene used to be massive in the 90s. If you think about it, it used to be huge. Like independent music used to be big. Then came an era where it was just film music and nothing else.
Yeah.
And now it's back. Like we have so many artists doing so many interesting things, and there's an audience for every single one of them.
Yeah.
Like, because it's so subjective, right? Like you can put your work out, and you never know who might like it
Right.
or who might not. So there's an audience for every single one, and there's an audience for every single kind of music now, whether it's, I don't know, whether it's progressive or commercial or completely indie or cinematic, God knows. There's people who listen to everything. I know for a fact that when I'm in the shower, I'm listening to Pirates of the Caribbean, and then I'm listening to, I don't know, man, like anything.
But
Punjabi music, like like I don't have a certain genre that I like, and the fact that now everybody is open to listening to new stuff is just giving that extra, push to it, and that's great. It's super. That's the way it should be.
yeah, I mean, like now, no one would say कि खो गए Mismatched का गाना है, खो गए तारुक का गाना है. Like of course I know they say Mismatched का है, but जैसे पहले कहते थे ना, अच्छे कौन सी पिक्चर का गाना है. Now that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about an artist as to
Yeah, no, and now the awareness has increased in terms of music directors, lyricists. It's no longer like the fact that Ye Dil Deewana is a Shah Rukh Khan song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
People know a lot more.
But don't you think there were some things about us talking that literally anyone's making music now, right?
Yeah, I mean,
in that sense.
Each to their own, yeah.
Each to their own, for sure. But don't you think there can be a point, like you said, there is a big future, right? Of course, there is a big future because it's rapidly increasing, right? When you even talk about like an Anuj Jain or someone who's been blowing up.
Yeah.
And
great music though.
Yeah.
Great music.
He was here for an interview yesterday.
Oh, mad.
So we were speaking about how the numbers on Spotify and stuff like that are so huge.
Yeah.
But don't you think there could be like this saturation point that comes because there's just everyone doing everything?
I mean, there could be, but I think it also depends on the quality of work that you're doing. At the end of it, like anything has a shelf life that is not kind of out of the ordinary. Like if anything's amazing, there's always, it's going to be timeless.
Right.
That's the difference. Like some things just don't wear off by overplaying.
Sure.
You listen to the classics today, and you still listen to them like it's the best music ever, right? And to be honest, the only thing that's happened is today we say that old music was better. For the first time the other day, I felt like, oh my god, I feel like I like older music better. And I had never felt like that.
Right.
Because it was always people who were older who were telling me that older music was better. But that's the same thing, the music today, 20 years down the line, is going to seem like, oh man, that was so pure.
Yeah. Fair enough. It's just the nostalgia bias.
Yeah, it's just the nostalgia of it. Whereas, today music's evolved a lot more. Melodies are more complicated, lyrics are deeper. It's not only about who's the technically skilled and the best. It's also about that emotion. It's about textures. It's about voices.
Right.
Everything is expanded so much.
Yeah.
So I think that's the kind of scene that it always is. Like it always becomes that.
So who are your top 5, say, indie artists?
I can't. It's too hard. It is just, I hate this question. I can't do it.
ऐसे top 5 नहीं, मतलब कोई भी 5 पसंद है?
अब मुझे बहुत लोग पसंद हैं यार.
सही है.
ऐसे नहीं कर सकता मैं.
ठीक है. I've already annoyed you enough by calling you to Bandra East.
No. I'm not annoyed at all. This question is like your top 5 musicians. I can't. It's like you can't.
A lot of people are doing a lot of good things.
Yeah, man. There's so many.
ठीक है, I don't know if this question also is along the same lines, but
हाँ.
anyone you would like to collaborate with in the near future that you haven't?
Uh, Again, a lot of
Yeah,
people.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, uh, collaborations are also very, subjective. It's about
Right.
how you're feeling in the room.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
day. It doesn't matter who you do it with. Like, who you collaborate with. It's all about, that day and that mood and that moment. And if you kind of see something on the same page,
Yeah.
and that's how it works. And I could make like I could be in a room with my dream artist, but maybe we're not on the same page that day.
Fair enough.
And I could be in the room with someone I don't even know, but maybe we just hit it off.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like that. Like, so I'm looking forward to collaborating with as many people as I can. That's what I want to do, because I want to learn their side of things, and hopefully contribute to that. And because I don't think you can only go so far with your own perspective or your own kind of set of things.
Right.
How will you grow if you don't let other things in?
Fair.
So
Fair.
yeah, man, like,
So have you heard of this 1 minute music that people are doing?
yeah,
Yeah. Do you ever plan to do something like that?
I haven't planned to do it. No, I don't think. I'm actually, I'm not a fan of the fact that content is getting smaller,
Okay.
shorter. I'm not. I feel like, it's not always justified,
Right.
because then you make it according to that. If you make a 1 minute song with the intention of just making a song and it sounds great in a minute, that's great. But if you're making it, oh my god, I have to finish this in 1 minute, the chorus has to come in the next 15 seconds, and I have to do this and I have to do that, and somebody will post a reel on it. You're very stuck. Like, I don't mind doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I've never tried to do it, but I don't mind. But you're very restricted. What if it's not enough to say what you want to say?
Yeah.
What if it's unjust to that melody? What if it's unfair to that certain section of music? So that's all. I mean, it's all right. Content is going the way it is. But yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the 1 minute music thing.
Yeah. So to what extent do you feel social media has become a very important part of an artist's life, an actor, artist?
Social media is huge, man. Today, in everything you do, you just need it. Like, you can't escape it, to be honest. You can't avoid it.
Right.
I mean, it's a part of everything. All information travels through social media, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it does. Including art. And if you have a command over social media, I'm very bad at social media.
Okay.
But like, if you have a command over social media, you can do wonders with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we saw what happened during the lockdown. People just started blowing up from their homes.
Yeah.
Reaching the whole world, and it was that's the kind of thing it can do.
Yeah.
And if you really know how to do it, like, it's superb.
Fair enough.
And it's, of course, like, it's an unavoidable aspect of our lives now.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the funniest comment you've received on any of your social media accounts?
I mean, I usually receive I think the joke is really old and whatever, but if I put up a picture and they're like, oh, you can stand, oh, you can walk. And I'm just like, haven't you guys had enough of this?
How dumb, man.
Like, हो गया आज का मजा आया, ये लिख दिया आज मैंने, मजा आया.
Oh my god, that is really dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, so those ones are a little like, thanks, thank you, great one, great observation.
Okay, so out of all of these, right now you've become an actor, and it seems like you're enjoying it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But do you still ever compare the processes as to what you enjoy more, performing a scene or recording a song or something like that?
Now it's tough. Like, earlier I would say that, like, music,
Yeah.
all the way.
Yeah.
But now it's tough because I also feel like because you also get better at something while you do it.
Yeah.
And if you have a sense of confidence कि मैंने कुछ सीख लिया है, तो वो करने का मन करता है.
Right.
Like, if you're a good football player, you'd want to play football, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
As opposed to if you're a bad one.
Yeah. Fair
So,
enough. No, I've seen bad ones really want to play also.
I mean, yeah, like, in the sense, like, you
Yeah,
just
no,
want to play all the time. So yeah, it was, I mean, because through the years I've learned a little, so, I still feel like, okay, at least I won't be terrible. And you know, I can maybe do this. So like that made me want to act more and more.
ठीक है.
And
So now it is like a bit of a dilemma as to
हाँ
what
अब
you-
तो है proper. But यार क्यों create करना है dilemma?
हाँ,
Like
नहीं,
it's
but-
not like I struggle with doing both. I wish I was that important and that busy, but I'm not. Okay, like I'm pretty sure I can make time for these two things.
Yeah, but eventually you
And-
could be, right? I mean, it's about now.
I'll cross that bridge where I get there. Like right now, you know, I'm making music, I'm shooting. You know, I don't shoot 12 months a year.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah.
and it's not like I write songs every day.
Right.
I'm pretty much sure that, I mean, I know everybody pretends to be really busy in their lives. And no, it is a thing. Like, you know, you ask anybody in the entertainment business what they're doing and they're just like, yeah, man, I'm like super busy. Like,
10-15 चीजें चल रही हैं
you know,
एक
ये सब चल रहा है. But there is always time to, if you really want to do something, you can.
साथ. Right. So, don't you think the fact that we have so many more resources, more platforms, it's really helping actors not traditionally from an entertainment background or independent artists a lot more because they're able to explore from a very small space. Like you explained to me your own setup, right? It seems so simple.
Yeah. It's,
So what is your setup? Could you just explain once?
it's a desk next to my bed.
हाँ.
And that's where everything gets made, यार.
Yeah.
वही बनता है सब.
और अभी कुछ वो ऐसे स्टूडियो की हैवी जरूरत है नहीं मतलब
obviously when you have to kind of finish a product, you have to go to a studio.
Right,
Like, you know,
right.
like a final dub I'd probably not do in my house, which I also have done.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like,
You prefer to
I
go to a
prefer to go to the studio, but the thing is, what happens is if you do it in the right moment, in the right thing, like in the right vibe at home, you sometimes just never get the same vocal recording in a studio because it's just not the same
Right.
thing. So yeah, I mean, Narazi recorded at home.
Okay.
That's been dubbed at home.
Right.
So,
right.
you know, so yeah, like it's fairly simple. Like it's nothing too fancy, and
So-
you don't need that much now. You know, you can do a lot with a laptop.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, like you said, the lockdown really taught us that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
For
You don't
sure.
you don't have to move out to be able to create.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is next for Taaruk?
Music is coming. Hopefully in the next couple of months. Hopefully sooner. I'm trying. I mean that, you know. Yeah. As soon as I know, I'll know. And of course, there's a couple of shows that will come.
Yeah.
Gonna be. I think there's Broken News season 2, and of
Right.
course, Mismatched season 3 will happen.
Huh.
It'll take a bit, but yeah, it'll happen. It's coming.
Yeah. वो तो they'll let you know.
And you know, there are a few things that I'm trying to do.
Right.
So hopefully this year I can, you know, reach a point musically and acting wise also where I can take it to like I can take it one step above and
Sure.
kind of keep maybe going
Yeah.
that path.
Yeah. Sometimes probably try something new.
Try something new because you know, like it's not like I always want to play the brash Delhi boy everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so all of that.
Fair enough.
So-
So, one request, and you don't have to accept it. I'm sure it's
no.
a tough day. But could you have like 2 lines of Kho Gaye?
Sure. Okay. आ गिरा आसमां दिल गवाह है साथ तू ना सही दिल जवां है कागज के पन्नों पे मैं लिख दूं तेरा नाम लकीरों में ही रहता है अनजान मैं तेरा तू मेरी धीरे धीरे से खो गए कहीं तू मेरी धीरे धीरे से खो गए हम
Love it. Thank
Thanks,
you so
man.
much. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for being here, and I hope to do a lot more of these
100%.
with a lot more of even bigger projects.
Yes, absolutely.
So stay tuned to Taaruk because there's a lot more coming from him, and stay tuned to Now Streaming.
Thanks for watching Now Streaming, and please like, share and subscribe to Radio City.